Hey guys, Kim Garza here. Welcome to my channel. In this video I will explain a little bit about how you can start in photography. I got the idea to do this video because three persons last week asked me about how to start in photography. There was this girl that saw my previous video about the New York Institute of Photography. If you want to check my review about the school, you can go to the suggested video. So I was sharing a little bit about my experience in the New York Institute of Photography, and she was with a lot of questions. Okay, I want to start in photography, and then I will start the New York Institute of Photography course, but as well I have so many other questions. So in this video I will explain how I started in photography and all the recommendations that I give it to you if you want to start from zero, and then where to start. First of all, I recommend you to define the amount of time that you want to spend in photography. Maybe you have another job, or maybe you are a student and then you have limited time to spend in photography. But if you have all the time in the world, then it's much better. So this time it's necessary to define, because then you can spend 100% of this time in photography, and then you can divide the activities that you need to do according with the time that you're able to spend in photography. Once you define and once you are decide to start in photography, then the next step and the first step that you need to do is get your gear. So the photography gear that I recommend to have at the beginning, you don't need to have the super expensive gear at the beginning, but it's important to start with the correct gear. So I recommend to have a professional camera. The cameras that I recommend, it depends on your budget, but I will tell you which cameras I recommend you. If you have not a lot of budget, I recommend you the Canon Rebel cameras. Are really good at, they have a lot of features that actually you can use as a professional photographer. But if you have a little bit more budget, then I recommend you the 70D Canon, the 6D, 7D, and if you have a lot of budget, then I recommend you the 5D of Canon, all Canon. I cannot recommend any other brands because I need to use the brands to actually recommend you. I do not recommend any brand that I haven't experienced with it. So all these cameras in Canon, I use them and they're really good. They have really good quality, and they have all the settings, like a manual settings that actually you can use to have the pictures that you want. So I really recommend all these cameras. As well, I have a really good experience with the Sony Alpha cameras. The Sony Alpha are a good option as well. So once you decide which camera you want to buy, then you need to have the extra gear for photography. For example, you need to have SD cards. I recommend to have at least two. Maybe you can have one of 16 gigabytes and another one 32 gigabytes, or 32, 16 and 64. So right now I have a bunch of them, but right now I'm using 232, 164 and 116. Why have more than one? Because in any case that you are in an event or you are doing a shooting and then something happened with your SD card, then you have a backup. Because as well, maybe you are working in, maybe you have full one SD card and then you have a really close shooting, then you can actually have the spare to use the other SD card. It's always better to have at least two. The other thing that you may use is a tripod. It depends on the photography that you are going to use, but I really recommend to have a tripod for certain photography. Maybe if you have a fixed set that you want to use for, say, season shootings like Christmas or Thanksgiving or another shooting or New Year's, you will have a fixed set, so you can actually put your tripod and then define your frame, and then you have the same frame in all your pictures. The other thing that I recommend to have is a flash, an external flash. I don't really like how it looks with the flash that the camera has. Like it's good lighting, but it's not ideal. So if you have the opportunity to have an external flash, it's much better, and the results and the light is much better. And just remember to point the light in different directions and not exactly to your subject. I will upload a further video about how to use artificial lighting, but if you have enough budget to have an external flash, will be much better. And finally, a laptop. So this laptop needs to contain the software that you are going to use to edit your pictures. The software that I recommend, and I'm always like in love with all the Adobe programs. So I really recommend Photoshop and Lightroom. If you want to start with something simple, then I recommend to start with Lightroom. If you want to start with something a little bit more complex and actually you want to manipulate a lot the photo, then I recommend to start with Photoshop. I use both. Lightroom, I use it for when I have a lot of pictures and I know that I want to edit exactly the same. All the pictures, like the coloring, I use Lightroom, but most of the time I use Photoshop because I want to have all the details defined in Photoshop, and I have all the details. I want to edit the details in a very custom way, and then in Lightroom you cannot do that. And as well, the retouching and dodge and burn, it needs to be done in Photoshop. So I recommend these two softwares. Of course, there is a lot of other softwares that actually like you can use for edit photos, but those are my personal recommendations. So once you have your gear, that is, remember, your camera, your tripod, your flash, your SD cards, and the laptop with the softwares that you are going to use, then you are ready to start learning photography. So once you have all your gear, then you can start practice. So what I recommend to start learning photography, you can actually enroll in a university, in an online university or campus university. So what I did, I enrolled in the University of Photography. As I say, you can see my review in here. It's a really good one, so that's one option. And the other option, there is a bunch of videos in YouTube, so you can just search a specific topic that you want to learn, and in YouTube you will find a lot of information. Actually, in my YouTube, I have a lot of information as well about Lightroom and Photoshop, and as well like tips and tricks in photography, so maybe some of my videos will be helpful for you to start in photography. The next thing that you need to do is to start build your portfolio. Don't wait until you know everything about photography, because you will never know everything about photography. It will be always something new to learn, but you need to start building your portfolio. So you will see that there is a lot of different types of photography, and actually you need different skills for each of them. For example, it's not the same to be a really good landscape photographer than a portrait photographer. So if you want to experiment all kinds of photography, which I recommend to experiment all kinds of photography, and then you will know which one you like the most, and then you will stay there and specialize in certain field. But at the beginning, just try everything. So for landscape photography and still life photography, product photography, actually you can just do it by yourself. You can have a product and then practice yourself and start building your portfolio. For photography, like portraits, families, and fashion photography, beauty photography, you will need models, families, and kids, and a lot of persons to practice with. So what I recommend is tell your friends, communicate your friends that you are learning photography if they are willing to participate in a shooting. I do not recommend to start charging these people since the beginning, because you are practicing. And as well, it will be less pressure for you. Okay, they are my friends. We are going to give them the photos and they are going to give me their time. There is this terminology between the photographers and models, TPF, there is time per photo. Which means, okay, the model is going to give me her time, and then I'm going to give her the photos. So with this terminology, it means that you don't need to pay the model and the model don't need to pay you. So both of them would win. And this can actually be implemented with just a female model or a family or everyone. So basically just tell your network that you are practicing photography who can be interested in collaboration for a shooting. Don't say I do free photography, but because it's a little bit bad advertising for you. More use the terminology TPF, time per photo, which means I will give you the photos and you will give me your time, and that will give you a lot of as well people that will be interested in collaborate with you. So manage this as a collaboration, more like I give you my free photos. And this as well will give you more relaxed, because you know there is not money involved and then it's just to practice, so you can actually experiment. Okay, I want to have this kind of photography, I want to experiment with this kind of style. And then as well, if there is like persons that actually it's much better, because you can actually express and connect with them, and then it's easier to get the results. You will find out with the time, when you are working with people that you don't know, that it's harder to communicate with them because you don't know them, and maybe the people they are not that open with you, but that's something that you need to practice. And as well, with time you will manage to communicate, and as well to get the results that you want for your photos. Once you have your portfolio, which I recommend to have at least 30 photos, but not more. Actually, I recommend to have 20 to 30 photos, because if it is a lot of photos in your portfolio, maybe people get a little bit overwhelmed. You can share everything in your social media, but in your portfolio needs to be between 20 and 30. So I recommend at the beginning that you don't need a web page at the beginning, because there is a lot of platforms free already online. For example, the two social medias that I recommend the most is Facebook and Instagram for photography, because the people are more related, like the target people that you are looking for photography is more related to use Facebook or Instagram. And as well, if you open a fan page in Facebook, you can link it with Instagram, and actually you have a lot of statistics about your followers and what they want and why they like, and then you can actually improve yourself with these statistics. So I really recommend to open a fan page with Facebook and Instagram. Once you open a fan page with Facebook, then you can invite all your friends to like your fan page. In here you can put your portfolio and say portfolio 2018, and then you put all your photos. You can put in the description of your photos the type of photography that you do, and as well explain your style, your inspiration. One of the things that the people really like is to have a personality between the personality behind the photographer. So if you express your style, then your target, then the people that will be interested will know already your style, and it will be easier for you because they already know what to expect and the results to expect of your work. And as well in Instagram, at the beginning in Instagram, just define the color scheme that you are going to use and the style that you're going to use, how often you are going to post and everything, just like these marketing strategies. But as well share a lot, use locations so people know where are you located. Really important, the location, because if you I have seen a lot of photographers that are like from families or weddings, and it doesn't say where they are from. So it's really important in the beginning to put where are you located, and if you can relocate or if you can travel, then you need to put it at the beginning, that so people know if maybe they're in the next city that is next to you, and maybe you want to travel to that city or you're able to travel to that city, so people know that actually you can travel. So start promoting yourself in Facebook and Instagram, and then start using all the strategies. I will upload later another video if you want. Just comment below if you want this video about how to reach more people according with the place of you are, and how to reach more and sell more, and how to find more clients. Yeah, the last step is start promoting yourself. It's really important that you keep updating your portfolio. Maybe you already reached the 30 photos that you really love, really different 30 photos. I'm not saying 30 photos of the same shooting, no. It should be 30 photos, different days, different models, different styles. So 30 photos of your work, between 20 and 30. And then after that, just remember to keep uploading this every year at least. If you can upload it every 6 months, it's much better. But don't change it so often, like every month. I think it's too much. 6 months or 1 year is perfect. So just don't stay with the same 30 photos. And as well, you will need a lot of content and high quality content for your social media, Facebook and Instagram. And as well, remember to define your style. when you already have your style, start promoting yourself. How can you promote yourself once you have enough photos for your portfolio and enough experience and you feel already comfortable to start selling? One of the strategies that for family portraits is really powerful everywhere is the seasons shootings. So are kind of like mini shootings like Christmas, New Year's Eve, Mother's Day, summer, what else? Thanksgiving, Halloween, like those seasons that actually you can put a set and do a shooting. You can do it outdoors or indoors. Those are really good to promote yourself because maybe are small shootings, but those are really well known, and as well people really like it. And if your set is really nice, people will go and actually take photos of you, and that will help you for marketing. For photography, the best marketing that you can have is recommendations. Once you have a job with someone and you did a good job, this person is going to recommend you with their friends, and that's really good for you. That's the best marketing that you can have. So the more shootings that you do, the better, and if you do a good job, then you will have a lot of marketing. So just remember, this is the best marketing for photographers are recommendations from other people. So as well, maybe you can do giveaways. Giveaways are as well really powerful. At the beginning, well, a giveaway is not going to give you money, but it's going to give you people that will be interested in shoot with you in a future. So you do a giveaway and you will have the recommendation of these people that you shoot with, and you will have other people interested as well in your work because they will know about you. So now that you have your style and you have a little bit of the jobs, you need to have presence online and as well to have recommendations in your internal network. So marketing never sleeps, so you need to have a really strong marketing strategy at the beginning so people start knowing about you, and as well just keep your quality as high as possible. And of course, with the time, your photography is going to be better and better, but always keep the best for your clients and as well make them feel really good with you, and that will give you more clients in the future. And this is the same if you want to work with a magazine or if you want to work as a landscape photographer or as a product photographer. At the beginning, you need to have collaborations, and this collaboration maybe will be interested in have a contract with you or to have further photo shoots with you. So this works the same if you want to do landscape photography or product photography. Then maybe you can have collaborations with a company, and then this company will be interested in have further photo shoots with you. So you can use this same strategy with all types of photography. Maybe you need to adjust some certain things that your target audience is going to be different, but actually the strategy is quite similar than all types of photography. So that's it. The summary of the steps that I recommend to start in photography is: number 1, define the time that you are going to spend in photography. Number 2, get your gear. Number 3, start a course or videos in YouTube so you can train yourself. Number 4, build your portfolio. It could be with friends or it could be with collaborations. Start building your online presence with Facebook and Instagram. And finally, start promoting your photography work. If you have any other questions, just comment below and I will reply as soon as possible. Or if you have any special topic that you want me to do a video, I will do it with pleasure. You know that I do all the videos here just to share my passion of photography with you. And if I can share anything with you that will be useful for you, then I would love to do it. So thank you very much for watching, and if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and activate the notifications so you know when I upload a new video. And if you really like it and you have friends that maybe wants to start in photography as well, then share the link and as well invite them to subscribe to my channel. So thank you very much for watching and see you in the next video. Bye!